welcome to the AgRibot podcast. In this series, we will explore new technological advances in agriculture, their societal impact, and the people behind the technology. I'm your host, Miljana Nikolic, the communication manager of the AgRibot project. In this first episode of the podcast, we will take you behind the scenes of the AgRibot project, a 4-year European project developing advanced robotic solutions to support agricultural workers in their daily work. To help us understand what the AgRibot project is all about, I'm joined today by our first guest and the project coordinator, Gregory Mygdakos from AgroApps. Gregory, thank you for kicking off the first episode of the AgRibot podcast. So for those of you that don't know, Gregory, could you please briefly introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you, Miljana. Thank you, everyone. My name is Gregory Mygdakos. I'm the Active Business Development Manager of AgroApps. We're an SME based in Thessaloniki, Greece, and we have been developing digital solutions for the agricultural sector over the past decade, but also for sectors around agriculture. So the main, developments was farm management software, decision support tools that in every single time use two main pillars: satellite data, weather information, of course, crop growth models, and so forth. From starters, the company had a specific vision of developing solutions, utilize all innovation in R&D in order to deliver the most flexible and user-friendly tools for supporting a much important sector like the agriculture one for Europe, but for the world as well.
And you are the coordinator for the AgRibot project?
That is absolutely correct. I have the pleasure to coordinate this project on behalf of AgroApps, and of course, alongside with an extended number of partners to organize this work in order to make the most out of it, practical solutions that address the main statements, the main problem, the main pain points that we see right now in the agriculture, but also agri-food sector in general in Europe.
Considering that your background is in business, could I ask you maybe to give like a sales pitch style introduction or overview of the AgRibot project?
Yeah, definitely. Consider that we are supporting through AgRibot. What we have to do, we have to address the issues that surface or are often occurring in the agri-food sector. Those might be the safety of the farmers, the safety of the agronomists, the safety of the population at the end of the day that is consuming the agri-food products. And we have to allow them to evolve, address, for example, another issue that we have within the EU agriculture domain in more severe, that we have, the population that is still cultivating the land and is providing us with the food is aging. And so we have a twofold priority here with AgRibot. Address inefficiencies, the pain points of agriculture, but at the same time, deliver to the stakeholders, to the end users in agriculture, tools that are attractive to them, that they can perceive, that deliver added value, and they can attract younger population, younger entrepreneurs into the agriculture and agri-food sector in general. So if I, may give the highlights, what we aiming to do, we are developing 6 robotic solutions, associated accompanying tools, and of course AR, XR environments that will apply in 2 different stages. First, in daily activities where those robotic solutions will be used in the farm to address the safety issues, address the efficiency issues, address the timely application of activities on one hand. On the second hand, to address the labor shortage that we have extensively during the last years in Europe. And of course, to provide, on the other hand, the efficiency of assisted cultivation, where we can support farmers or agri-entrepreneurs to perform activities 24/7 within their farms. You realize that when we are supporting agri-entrepreneurs and farmers with robotic solutions, this means that the typical 6, 4, 5 hours of work at the field, because this is open environment, the conditions are different, can be largely extended with the use of agricultural robotic solutions. And those mobile robotic solutions can work 24/7, no matter of the, let's call it, bad in terms of temperature conditions out there, and can provide efficiencies and reduced costs for the agri-enterprise, but also, in several cases, to deliver more environmental friendly, more decreased CO2 impact to the environment. So to support those applications and their uptake, we also, at the same time, we're developing AR and AXR tools that will help farmers and agri-entrepreneurs to actually learn and understand how they can fully utilize these machines and these robotic solutions. So at the end of the day, AgRibot is not only developing and delivering ready to be used or ready to be introduced into the market robotic platforms and extension services, but also enables the end user to learn how to use them and why they need to use all those into their fields. We need to highlight here at this point that those are not totally autonomous. We are still retaining the human in the loop, as we call it. We still retain the farmer's experience, and in essence, we provide him the agri-robotics platforms, the agri-robotics solutions, alongside with the AR/XR tools, as an extension to his ingenuity, as an extension to his experience, as an extension, as a labor functionality for him to exploit and increase efficiency performance in his fields.
Yes, the important part is that we're not trying to replace farmers, but rather help them and enhance their productivities.
Exactly correct. Exactly correct. It is impossible, no matter how good an application, a system, a solution might be. The experience gained through all those years by the farmers is something that we cannot take out of the equation, not consider that the technology can do its own. Technology can only leverage the experience of the farmers, learn by them, learn of how they have been performing efficiently those activities, and allow them to have more hands, more digital hands, more technological hands to perform it in multiple ways.
A noteworthy aspect also of AgRibot, so people that are making this reality is the extensive consortium, the multidisciplinary consortium. So I wanted to ask you, how did the idea come about of you bringing all of this extraordinary people together?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. We are 18 organizations that we span between robotics specialists, research universities, AR and XR environment developers, telecommunication companies, social scientists, and of course, an extensive number of agricultural universities and partners with experience in agriculture. Within this consortium, we have established, let's say, 6 main leading partners with regards to the robotic solutions, with KU Leuven focusing on the autonomous harvesting, CNR in Italy, and University Bari for the soilless greenhouse robotic platform and for fresh vegetables robotic platform. We have Agricultural University of Athens leading the weed detection and spraying for wheat, and of course the Danish Technological Institute that, alongside with our co-robotic partners, are addressing the pilot on voluntarily potatoes and weeds in potato crops. Lastly, we have, of course, EureCat. EureCat is leading the pilot case on thinning and pruning on orchards. That is also an equally important case that complements, all in all those cases, complement the basic activities that take place either in arable farms, greenhouses, or in orchards, and are activities that require high efficiency and high labor costs, but also at the same time are activities that put the farmer or the agri-entrepreneur in danger. And on that frame, we have invited those organizations to work together with us to develop solutions that, as I mentioned earlier, will be market ready by the end of the project. And we all came together when we're currently working on having those solutions pilot tested soon with the common aim. Let's do something that is practical, let's do something that will be efficient, and let's do solutions that the European farmers can the next day capitalize upon and bring actually to their farms.
And considering that there are so many projects currently in Europe that are targeting agriculture, what would you
Mhm.
say that makes AgRibot stand out? You mentioned a couple things, but maybe.
Mhm, mhm. Yeah, of course, of course. As I mentioned earlier, from the start, the we had a main aim, a main objective altogether, all the partners. We didn't want to, let's say, to have this opportunity, this project, to be funded and offer another, let's say, solution that will complement on what it is already in the market or in the terms, in the financial terms that is already available in the market. This was the basic reasoning why we structured those six distinct robotic systems. Those six systems are being piloted across 7 countries. So we cover any kind of possible, let's call it, combination that makes sense in terms of future uptake. This diversity was delivered from starters, and because we wanted to demonstrate that those solutions are not something small or address a niche need, for one crop type or for one climate condition or for one cultivation activity. We wanted to make sure that any type of end user or stakeholder addressing and seeing those solutions can understand that those can abide for his farm, for her farm, for their crops, and so forth. So further from designing and stipulating the initial pain points, we had to make sure as we were developing this and as we were accompanying those with software solutions and other types of technologies that they needed to be transferable. So within AgRibot, the first aim is at the end of the project, those can be marketable, those can be applicable, no matter which area within Europe you are, no matter, let's say, among those crops that we address, you are cultivating. The second and most important is that we have seen and we have witnessed in several other initiatives a crucial step towards adoption of innovative solutions, whether those are software-based, whether are technological-based, whether those are robotic solutions and so forth. Aiming on that, we have included within AgRibot, mentioned also in the starters, a two-way of use of AR/XR integration. So for us, it was very important to use this technology that aims to bridge the physical environment with the technological environment, with the digital environment, and to use this pipeline to train and bring closer to familiarize our end users with the use of those robotics platforms. So the focus was from starters next to those robots to develop immersive training environments on top of XR AR and provide operational support on the training aspects. How am I supposed to use those for them to be familiarized? But as well as, can I use this same environment that I have been familiarized to operate the robotic solutions in the crop at the end of the day? So for us, the AR/XR environment, the development of those solutions was fundamental approach from start day to co-develop with the robotic platforms and also deliver those together into the stakeholders. But even though if we, let's say, have checked those two boxes, we had another barrier or another issue to address at the same time. Yes, the robotic solutions will be there. Yes, the AR and XR environments would be there and applicable and usable by the end users to learn and operate those solutions efficiently. But how could we showcase in an efficient manner to the end users that it makes sense at this time, with this climate crisis, with this labor shortage, with all these applications, that is essential for them to adopt those solutions. So on that frame, we included, let's call it the third main block within the project, that is the development of the impact assessment tool. So what does the tool does? It allows farmers and any other user to quantify economic, environmental, and social return, the benefit actually in monetary and non-monetary terms of adopting these technologies. So we don't expect them to blindly address or believe what the actual pilot results will be, but we invite them to address, to use the impact assessment tool, put inside the tool their own data, what happens within their farm, how much is the cost, how much is the environmental footprint, and so forth, and invite them to try the tool in order to have their own uh, appreciation of what the total benefit with them will be. And for them, the bottom line is the impact assessment tool is there for them to personalize their situation and get back the bill, what it means in monetary terms within the next 5, 6, 10 years of adopting, what will be the return in several values for their enterprise, but also for their safety and for their workers' safety. So all those three blocks together, we hope that they will materialize. Our activities on disseminating and communicating the results are ongoing, and we truly hope that farmers will realize the benefit that such solutions, not only developed within the AgRibot, but also in sister projects, are essential and important to be adopted and utilized in European agricultural sector.
Even we will have the episode going deeper into the impact assessment tool, so it's even more understandable to farmers or other end users in our third episode of the podcast. But I also wanted to ask you, let's look a bit into the future, for example, 10 years into the future. In your opinion, would it be realistic to imagine these AgRibots robots on the fields and people are using it like worldwide?
We are seeing later in agriculture the adoption and the deployment of solutions that we have seen in other sectors far more before. I consider that we had the same question for autonomous car or for autonomous flying drones and so forth. Right now, if we look, let's say, back to the past and now, we have robotic solutions in almost every major industry, whether this is manufacturing, whether this is doing specific activities. We have autonomous cars almost, let's say, in Europe, and not only. And we have robotic solutions in any type of activity supporting us daily. We recently even had the booming of co-working with chatbots and LLMs and so forth. So all this is now a reality. We cannot say that we can go back. The only issue here is not going back, is just stating that, okay, this will not help me in my sector to move further. And I think it has been quite evident in all the rest of the sectors. And within the AgRibot, we hope to make this even more evident, that there is no other way to safeguard the food safety and food security for Europe, but also globally, unless we make this leap, we make this transition, not to future technologies this time, because we have progressed 10 years, but to actual developed, validated, and operational technologies. So to me and to the whole consortium, what we are doing, the main, let's say, added value that we contribute or we hope in reality to materialize through this project, is not just to demonstrate that a lot of work has been done in the past years with regards to research and benefits of robotics, but to give tangible results and make stakeholders and end users understand that those are not future trending technologies. The robotic platforms, the solutions, the AR, XR environments are operational tools that are already in the market, that are already here, and we only need to make them more interoperable, a little bit more integrated, and familiarize those stakeholders and end users to their more efficient use. So to us, the uptake of robotic solutions is something that will happen for sure, unless we do not wish to address the food safety and the food security. And also at the same time, we need to consider what was in the past the main blockades, let's say, or pain points. It was pricing, the cost of those robotic solutions, or their applicability, or let's call it like that, the population was not so much familiarized. Right now, we have the hype of AI, of LLMs, we have the hype of robotic solution, of autonomy in driving, in movement, and so forth. We have drones flying not only daily, but continuously capturing images and so forth. We are now in a stage where the solutions, the technology is mature and ready to be adopted by everyone. And we are right now at the stage where the end users and stakeholders are already familiar with the underlying technology. So I cannot find a more optimum time rather than this period that AgRibot runs to state and to make it tangible. This is the future of agriculture. This is the tools that need to be utilized in order to safeguard our future and the future of our children.
AgRibot is currently almost in its second year.
Mm-hmm.
Could you maybe share with us some results that were noteworthy to you or that made you think, oh, this is really happening, we're really gonna make a big change with this project?
Of course. It is indeed during the second year. We are now just minutes, let's call it like that, minutes before we deploy operationally those robotic solutions around those 6 planets plus 1 pilot locations. So for those that listen to this podcast, please find your nearby pilot case scenario by visiting our website and express your interest to follow up in the pilot activities. Within the next, let's say, 1 month, 1 and more months, you will have the AgRibot robotic solutions launching, moving, performing activities. And if you indicate your expression of interest, you might be one of those that can join early on the pilot applications that will run and have the opportunity to familiarize yourself, take a look at the applications that we're performing, at the robotic solutions and how they actually perform at an operational level. Because what we're discussing right now is the operationalization of those AgRibot solutions in the 7 countries throughout Europe.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave the links to these pilot case web pages in the video description as well. We're gonna keep everybody updated through our social media as well. But finally, as the project coordinator, Gregory, what do you personally hope for AgRibot? What will its legacy be by the end of the project? So we're talking 2028.
Ideally, I would like to have quantifiable results of the actual impact or of the change of the perception that the project, through its partners, through us, through everyone involved in this project, whether it is a partner, whether it is a pilot, participant, and so forth, we hope to change this perception and showcase with flying colors that we are there. We are in the right timing and we are within the right landscape. A set of 18 European partners have not only the capacity to ideate, research, and develop, but also market and put into action 6 different agri-robotic solutions accompanying digital services and AR/XR environments that, as I said, the next day, if adopted and used, can totally change the agricultural environment in Europe. That could be my first option. The second option would be to see this connection with our end users, with our surrounding stakeholders, to increase. We have already seen positive signs, even from what we call user requirements or user co-creation phase, where during the first year of the project, we did very quick working groups presenting the robotic solution, presenting how they will be, the software solutions, how those will be, and how those are expected to interact with the end user. And even from there, we have seen a transition of the feedback of those end users from this looks okay to this could be improved in X, Y, Z reason. And to me, those are the first indications that what we are delivering and what we are to deliver operationally within the next weeks is something that is aligned with the expectations of the farmers, with the expectations of end users, of the stakeholders, and hopefully we'll manage to make a change into the perception, into what we consider that is efficient and good choice for us to adopt, and include into our farm enterprise.
Well, That's a very positive note to end it on. So, Gregory, thank you so much for being our first guest, and I really look forward to seeing everything that's to come from AgRibot, and even in the coming weeks or in the coming years as well. So, hopefully, also get a chance to have a follow-up episode in maybe a year to see our progress.
Yeah, of course, Mia. Thank you very much for the opportunity to attend this and express our long-term vision and our imminent, let's say, invitation to the general public. If they wish to learn more, if they wish to be involved, please feel free to visit our website and social media and interact with our partners. They are there, and there is an open invitation for any stakeholder out there to come closer, to send one message, and we'll be more than happy to have you on board to discuss with you on how we can improve further what we are putting on the ground within the next weeks.